Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Jason Sturgess. I am the Regional Vice President and General Manager of our Central and Canadian regions at Denodo. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Chris Goodale, VP of Enterprise Data and Analytics Enablement at Sun Life. Chris, welcome to the call, and thank you for spending some time with me today.
Good to be here.
Thank you. You referenced a few use cases, internal actually around generative AI and sort of what you're doing to prepare. But are you able to call it a few specific ones in Sun Life that are notable in your mind where there's strong benefits? I'm sure folks would love to hear, from an insurance vertical, some of the things that are really moving the needle in your business. Can you spend a couple of minutes talking to that?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been at this as an organization for a while now, and I'd say we've been successful in consistently making exciting strides with AI. Happy to share some of our key implementations and the associated benefits as well, I think is important to highlight. So we jumped into the GenAI game back in 2023, and it's safe to say it's been quite a ride, a dynamic one since then. One of our first big wins was building an employee chatbot, and we did that in just 9 days. We'll talk about impressively quick turnaround. And that chatbot was trained on our internal operations and HR guidelines, and which made it a go-to resource of sorts for teams right across the organization. Of course, we didn't stop there. Soon after that, we launched our global Sun Life Asks chatbot for employees, and you can think of like a popular external chatbot, but tailored specifically for us, and also being nestled safely within our own tech ecosystem. And that's been a huge hit since its launch in November of 2023. So we're talking over 3 million queries and about 20,000 visits every week. It's really amazing to see how our people are using it new and creative ways all the time, from brainstorming ideas, to summarizing documents, coding, writing, even goal setting. So it's really giving our employees materially more time to focus on the work they find most meaningful, and at the same time, we're constantly adding new features to make that product even better. When it comes to specific use cases in insurance and financial services, in that vertical, we're seeing some really innovative applications. For instance, we've launched tools that help our advisors in Canada efficiently and securely summarize client meetings. And that, of course, means less time on paperwork and more quality time with clients where it matters most, focusing on the conversations that really matter to our associates and to our clients. And in addition to that, we're building custom chatbots for our compliance and our actuarial teams as well. And we're also exploring ways to use AI to summarize lengthy physician statements in our underwriting process. And that, as I'm sure you can appreciate, could be a real game changer in terms of efficiency. So beyond that, of course, the possibilities seem endless, and they probably are. So it's incredibly exciting time for our technology and our business teams. And there's so much more opportunity for innovation and collaboration across different areas of our business. And it really just feels like we're scratching the surface of what AI, Gen AI, agentic ultimately can do for us and for our clients. So much more to come.
Amazing. I mean, when you think about your role and sort of the criticality of enablement across the business, I mean, is there any one particular project or initiative that sort of stands out in your mind, or you sort of take some personal pride and ownership in with respects to rolling it out?
Yeah, I'd love to highlight a project that we're really proud of here at Sun Life. It's our self-service group benefits plan sponsor dashboard. It's a mouthful. It's a fantastic example of how collaboration between our enterprise teams and our business groups has created real, tangible, material value. This dashboard is a real game changer for our plan sponsors. We've tapped into our enterprise-wide data and analytics capabilities to build a platform that gives them what I call like powerful on-demand insights into their benefits programs. And it's not just about presenting data. It's much more than that. It's about transforming that data into actionable intelligence. And what's really exciting is how this tool empowers our clients. Right? It enhances their ability to make data-driven decisions about their benefits programs, and they can work with us more effectively to ensure that their plan members have the right plans and the right support to live healthier lives. So it's a bit cliche, but it's genuinely a win-win situation. Better outcomes for plan members and more efficient targeted benefit programs for sponsors. But here's the thing that really gets me excited, makes me optimistic. This project, while it's been really successful and something that we're really proud of, it also showcases the incredible impact that we can have when we use our data, when we use our capabilities strategically, right? And practically apply them to a well-defined business opportunity or a business challenge. It's a perfect example of how we're leveraging our data assets to create value, not just for us, but for our clients and for their employees too. And I think it really embodies what ultimately what we're striving for at Sun Life. And that's using our technology capabilities and data expertise to create solutions that make a real difference in people's lives. And just to reiterate, it's projects like these that remind us of the positive impact that we can have when we innovate with clarity and with purpose.
That's amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Well, listen, let me pivot a little bit and sort of move from AI to architecture. I mean, I think, a lot of the discussions these days just keep pointing back to the foundational importance of data to deliver, on all these AI initiatives. But, there's been, I don't want to say recent, lots of discussion continues around, is it a decentralized data approach? Is it a centralized data approach? As we've moved to the cloud in recent years, as we're, adopting more data lake architectures, the discussions continue to surface. I'd love to get your perspective on that and where you sit and where Sun Life is, or how Sun Life and your organization thinks about approaching these, and whether there's an architectural standard you're trying to point towards.
Talking about future data management challenges, and I think the idea, the approach for Sun Life is a proactive one, focusing on both regulatory compliance and then best practices in terms of data governance. So first, as a company with our global head office in Canada, one of our top priorities is ensuring compliance with OSFI's E-21 guideline. This guideline, of course, is about setting expectations for enhanced data risk management and operational resilience, which we're fully committed to meeting. That said, our approach to data management goes beyond just regulatory compliance. We recognize that the principles outlined in guidelines like E-21 represent best practices for any business handling operationally critical and/or sensitive client data, regardless of industry or regulatory environment. And those principles ultimately should be more broadly and more consistently applied right across our business, which is exactly what we're doing. I also think it's pretty clear, certainly to me, that well-managed, properly governed data with good hygiene is fundamental to new and emerging technologies like generative AI and agentic for that matter. And it's going to be increasingly difficult to take full advantage of these transformational opportunities without high quality, robust data to power them. And if I zoom out a little bit, as a global company, we're constantly evaluating and adapting to a pretty rapidly changing regulatory landscape across all markets. So by prioritizing data, by taking a proactive approach, we do our best to stay ahead of new requirements and emerging best practices. I guess said another way, our focus on data management isn't just about meeting the current regulatory requirements. It's about positioning Sun Life for future success in what is a pretty clearly and increasingly data-driven world, right? We've talked a bit about that so far. So really investing in our data infrastructure, supporting processes to ensure that we can, for example, handle new types of data and leverage them effectively as those new types of data continue to emerge and change over time. And by prioritizing data quality, governance, risk management, some of the things that we talked about earlier, we're really setting ourselves up to be more agile, to be more responsive to future opportunities, to future challenges, things that relate or have a relationship with data management or reliance on data management. And not just that, but we're also enabling our business to continue to innovate, deliver better experiences, produce better results with our data and analytics capabilities as a really important driver. And I guess the last point I'll make here is that Sun Life is taking a forward-looking, comprehensive approach to data management. If it hasn't been clear um, already, and one that balances regulatory compliance with strategic forward-looking business needs. And we really feel that this approach will enable us to navigate future challenges effectively and capitalize on the opportunities presented by emerging technologies and data-driven decision making.
So as you continue to build this out, and I mean the pressures are everywhere, and the needs are everywhere. Has there been discussion and how coming back to this architectural piece of centralized versus decentralized? Is that on your radar? Is that a thing that you're looking to address head on, or as you said, you're looking to serve the business and to drive value to the business, and you support architectures as best to deliver results for your clients and for your shareholders?
When it comes to the question of like centralized versus decentralized and the associated debate, which I often find myself part of, I actually think it's a false choice. I don't think it's an either or thing necessarily. It's certainly not in our case. So our
Mhm.
approach is about finding the right balance, right, to maximize efficiency, to really drive the right levels of engagement and ownership. Um, and at the end of the day, also ensure market relevance. So we believe both centralized and decentralized elements of our approach are necessary and need to complement one another. The goal ultimately is to enable speed, enable consistency, and impact by providing best-in-class capabilities centrally, while also giving our business groups the flexibility that they need to act locally. So we set standards and build foundational capabilities once for the enterprise, which they can then use across multiple business groups. And the centralized approach is more cost effective, allows the business to focus on value creation rather than reinventing the wheel over and over again. At the same time, we ensure that our business groups have the flexibility to focus on creating insights that support their specific objectives, right? Close to the client, close to the business. And this decentralized aspect allows for agility and specialized focus where we think it's needed most and where it can help to drive relevant and strategically aligned outcomes, for lack of a better way to describe it. So basically, by building capabilities centrally and deploying them across the organization, we achieve consistency and efficiency. And then by providing latitude to the businesses to consume and apply those capabilities locally, we maximize relevance and business impact. And I think that balanced approach allows us to leverage the benefits of centralization. Again, consistency, efficiencies, economies of scale, while still maintaining agility, specialized focus, and market responsiveness that our clients in the markets that we operate in requires. So in essence, I guess, and to summarize, our strategy is really to centralize where it makes sense for scale and efficiency, while decentralizing where local expertise and flexibility are crucial. And we think that helps us to stay nimble in what is very clearly a rapidly changing business environment and technology and data environment as well.
Listen, this has been a fantastic conversation for me. I've learned a lot. Chris, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you to the folks at CDO Magazine for supporting this. It's a fantastic discussion and much appreciated. For more interviews and insights, please visit cdomagazine.tech. And with that, I'll bring this call to an end. Thank you so much and have a great day.